c'était Ma Stone, et elle est actuellement à l'affiche de Pauvres Créatures de Yórgos Lánthimos. C'était notre immense coup de cœur à la Mostra de Venise, où nous avions écrit ces mots. On est donc revenu sur certains points de notre critique avec elle.
This is Bella. Oh.
Oh.
L'interprétation d'Emma Stone, toujours sur le fil entre génie et grotesque.
I think the biggest part of it was the script. Tony wrote such a beautiful adaptation of the novel, and Yórgos and I worked a lot on the physicality before we started shooting, and then we would just kind of find it as we went and gauge it as we were shooting. She's so special and so unique that we got to invent a lot of things because it wasn't, doing an impression of a toddler or of, an adolescent. She's a very unique creature. So it was just a constant work in progress, I guess. Bud.
Oh. Blood.
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 When you play a character, you're thinking about their backstory and, things that have happened to them and what leads them here. And this time it was about stripping away rather than adding. That was the most joyous part about playing Bella was, getting to look at your own relationship to shame or the sort of social contracts that you make growing up as a woman. At first that was challenging because I'm very self-critical, but trying to sort of let that go as time went on and just be freer was a great gift of playing her. I think while I was playing Bella, I thought, this is the most challenging role I've ever played. But now looking back at it with the benefit of hindsight, whatever the challenge was, I think that goes hand in hand now with just like the pure joy of this character that I love so much. I see it as like the greatest character I've ever gotten to play.
Un film à l'humour que l'on aurait pu soupçonner.
That was all in the script, but then there were these incredible actors that came in and we had 3 weeks of rehearsal before. So the way that they brought each of those men to life, and Gerard, as the kind of cynic who is showing her a different side of the world. And everybody was just so good at what they were doing that after rehearsal, we all felt really close to each other. And then it was just so much fun to explore even things that I don't know that we understood going in, like Willem as Baxter had such a sweetness to him that I don't know that I was expecting. I think maybe reading it, I thought he was going to be much more kind of clinical as a character, and Willem brought such kind of depth and sweetness to that. And then similarly, Mark is like a love bug. He's like the nicest man. And Duncan is such a disaster. And it was so amazing and inspired to have Mark play that character because even when he's at his worst, you kind of love him. You're like, oh God, this poor pathetic guy.
Right.
So it was just kind of like moving along with them and seeing how Bella would react to that. But they're all kind of lovable in these twisted ways.
Une relecture féministe, inédite et brillante du mythe de Frankenstein.
The more clear Bella becomes on what she wants and what she believes and, the more kind of threatening that becomes. It's such a beautiful story in that sort of metaphor of what happens when a woman really starts to own who she is and feels more powerful in what she believes and her opinions and how that kind of makes the people around her feel threatened and try to possess her even more.
Always reading now, Bella. You're losing some of your adorable way of speaking.
In the book, it's not told from Bella's perspective, it's told from the men's perspective. So that was something that they wanted to change for the film, that it's coming from sort of Bella's growth. And I know that that's the case in Frankenstein too, kind of a creature of your own making eventually. She really builds kind of herself. She's the creation and the creator. Also, it obviously feels different, I think, with a woman than it does with a man, like in the Frankenstein story. But yeah, I don't know if I answered your question.
Konbini!